All right. Hello and welcome back as we get ready for our last game of the night as we are going to have the Louden Lynx up against the Kansas City Foxtrotters. Hoping for a good game, but we will see. As on your screen, of course, you can see the recap as both these teams fell in 4 games against what ended up then being the top 2 teams on the standings in Incheon and Bedford. And of course, earlier on tonight, we saw Incheon then take down a second win to move to 2-0. Moving over then to our schedule, as we just mentioned, you can see Incheon with that 3-1 win, which progressed them on to be the only undefeated 2-0 team in Pixel for the moment. And then we'll see if Bedford and Boston and Daytona can join them throughout the rest of the week. And Madison. So at least one of Bedford or Madison will be joining them. We'll see which. As then we can move along to our standings where you can see, like I just mentioned, those 4 1-0 teams who will try to rise up. And then those 4 0-1 teams who will try to avoid the same fate as Denver, which one of these teams will do. As you see them on the board there in the 7 versus 9. But entering the week, they are 8 and 10 on the standings. So, 2 teams who have struggled. That's not right. Hold on. I know I can switch it on screen, but there you go. It's easier to do that. That's also not right. So this time let me just bang and then bang. There you go. Didn't do that. So you can see your stats on the screen. Your key players are Craney and Young Wild Boy, although we had 2 players who didn't play for KC and very low stats across the board. And then we have ties on literally everything, of course, except goals and shot percentage. But like, look at the amount of ties and saves. So 3 of the 6 stats have ties, but 2 of them have all 3 players who played tied. So, you know. And then, of course, the averages are in favor of Louden because, again, KC's stats just aren't very high. I think, obviously, they did get a win, and I believe they had Breezy playing as their PFA in that game, who had a pretty big impact. But now we saw it entered earlier on that they were going to use Bio as a PFA. However, okay, I don't think there's a however. Mers said in the chat he was gonna play, but Bio is still in their call. So I don't think Mers is playing tonight. I think he just told a lie. That is at least how it would seem. As I am actually gonna shrink this a little more. I had to shrink the font of Casey's team name a little bit, obviously, because very long name. And I had it somewhere. It's made it a little smaller. Just trying to keep it separate from the series score number a little bit. But, yeah, we will see. We are waiting on everyone to get in. I think if Mers is here, it's tough. If Mers is not, Bio is a good player, but I'm leaning to Louden. Because I think, obviously, you can say that currently they have Vaughn, Wildboy, and then Bio. And you can see the duo there on screen. They didn't exactly do a lot. Well, yeah, Dishonored, but, I mean, if your player shows up, especially when you do the PFA that early, as long as the series hasn't started, you can just undo that, say you're no longer doing that. Once the series starts, you're locked into it. But before the series, you can just say, actually, I didn't think they were there, but that now they are. Because the point of the PFA is if your players aren't available, then you do the PFA. But then if your players become available and the series hasn't started yet, then you no longer need the PFA. So you just don't use it, So that would be possible. But as I said, it is currently Z Bio in their call. And so it doesn't seem that will be the case. Mers was just lying for fun. And with that being said, I'm predicting Lynx 3-1. The series score is very hard to pin down, but I think Louden now have played a game together, and so they have a bit more comfort. And I think they're just a more dangerous core. I mean, you can see their stats from last week as they put up a pretty decent fight against Inchin. And yeah, I mean, Craney, obviously a very strong player. Louis, we've seen his strengths. We've seen, obviously, he probably could have been their key player if not for Craney. And then Pinky, a very strong player. And we haven't seen Dishonored yet this season. He is in their call. He's not in the lobby to start game 1, but obviously a player we've seen kind of toe the line between being a 4th or a 3rd. So that will be one to watch on if KC or if Louden do end up making some roster changes if it doesn't start in their favor. But again, that's something to be seen later, as we are, for right now, just waiting to get our roster in the lobby. I did send out the info, and so we are just waiting. And we do have one team in, so I know it's correct. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of echoing the same thing, that I think this will be a big win for whoever it is. Obviously, Louden, they had, I think, like a late second, and then the last 2 picks of the draft. And so, not exactly strong capital. Then they make a couple FA moves before the season starts, and they end up here. And so for them, with already a bad spot going in, you can't be too surprised to lose that first one, but you don't want to let it landslide. Because then that underdog mentality goes away, and it just turns into we are expected to lose, and we are losing. And that is scary in terms of team morale. Meanwhile, on the other side, KC, a little bit better picks, as I believe they picked somewhere. I'm just scrolling up for myself to look. As they picked pretty much 2 at the end of the second, 1 at the beginning of the third. So pretty much in very similar spots close together. And I think the roster kind of had question marks to a lot of people. I mean, you have Mers, who's not going to be playing for a month, so that's kind of just a hole in your roster. Then you end up taking Vaughn and Bula. Obviously good players, but 2 players then that are at like 2 of the bottom 5 in ratings, which of course caused kind of the roster issues we had for other teams, but then also it's kind of just a question mark as what that does. And I mean, it's gonna be a strong start for Louden as we are underway here. Pinky just hits it off the bar, a little bit of panic, and Louis able to get an early shot. I mean, pretty much. You're not wrong, Pitt. As Craney tries to win this one forward, it's played across again, and it's Pinky. 13 seconds in, it's already 2-0 for the team in blue. A strong start for them as they've just had the speed, they've just had the awkward plays in their favor. And it has been, I mean, obviously a pretty clean start, but we'll see if they can carry it on through the rest of this game. As Louis looks for another clear, Craney puts it on target. Wild Boy's in the corner. There's no double. Pinky will try to keep it close. Down off the back wall again. Louis diving in, but it's still wide. Craney trying to get up. Stuck in the corner are the Lynx, trying to get it centered out, but they will not be able to, as there's a big pinch, but Pinky able to react in time. Now sent away again, Craney downfield, Pinky down into the corner, Vaughn just waiting in net, not wanting to overcommit, will eventually get the clear away, and another strong 50, so that'll force Craney back. Craney now misreads it, but unfortunately for KC, Vaughn's touch turns into a bit of a clear for Louden. Now dropping down, Pinky still with control, but it's Wild Boy just up into the ceiling. Now dropping down, Louis off the right wall, played around, Craney blocked away by Vaughn. Now off the left wall again, this one centered down. Pinky not quite able to get a piece of that one. Wild Boy still staying with it. Now drop down, Bio on the catch and the cut, 50'd out to the side. Vaughn off the corner, bouncing down, Bio saved away. Louis just clips a piece of it. And that works out, and that one's in as well. Wild Boy eventually does get the goal on the board as it pinches to the side off Pinky. But unfortunately still on target, and there's no one ready to react to it. Now off the left wall. This one dropping down off the backboard. To be fair, I didn't even see that Were Tiger bet. I just saw that the Lynx are basically Were Tiger. I mean, look at the logo. This one up in the air. Bio trying to drop it down. Does get away from him a bit. Craney is there. And it's 3. That's Craney's first of the game. And the 2-goal lead is back in order. .381 now with just under 3 minutes to go. Pinky trying to get up again, but it's blocked away off the back wall. This one now bouncing away. The boost also seems like it makes a noise, which is interesting. Louis gonna catch up to it, bangs it out off the back wall, Bio away. Also, I didn't specify it this stream. Obviously, yeah, Baka's mod still isn't updated, so that's why we're running with this. So, yeah, it gets the job done. It works well enough. This one drops down. Craney trying to play it out off the back wall. It'll get pinched all the way over to the left. Pinky now behind it. This one dropped in again. Vaughn already waiting. Louis pops it up in the air. Bio now trying to drop it down. Louis just gonna go over it. Bouncing. Craney. Double. 4-1. That's goal number 2 for Craney. One touch up high makes him jump. One down low puts it away. And Louden are rolling. 4 goals in 3 minutes. And that is enough for a 3-goal advantage. And if you're KC, might be starting to mentally go next, but of course you gotta stay locked in. Still got 2 minutes, gotta see if you can get that comeback, or at the very least if you can get a couple goals on the board. Try to get some momentum back, but for now they're just fully trapped back in their half as Louden, just faster, just more threatening. Almost able to get another goal there, but Craney is 50 away. Double commit. It's Pinky to pop it up in the air. Craney to follow it up. Pass off the back wall. Louis right back up there. This time he'll double it, but this time he goes a little bit high. And so Louden not going to add on just yet. But again, they're staying downfield. They're wasting away at that clock, and they're just giving no looks, even in the final third. For KC, as Pinky passes this one down, Bio will get the save. Craney having to retreat all the way to the boost does mean Bio can get past midfield, but how much further as Craney already dives in and already takes it away. Miss on the back line. Craney will center, but a bit too strong. Pinky can't get there, or at least not for a good contact, but Louis can. It's 5. 5-1, Louis, just a pinch towards net. And it is a 4-goal lead with 35 seconds left to go. Should be more than a formality, as this team looks strong to start out the series. Now, of course, 1 goal, or 1 game instead, definitely doesn't necessarily illustrate how 3 more, or at least 2 more will go. But this is a statement. Craney secures his hat trick, and it's 6-1 with 11 seconds left in game 1. I mean, just going on this game, it looks like it's the first pixel sweep. That's what it looks like. But, again, it feels like this game's been over for a while, and so we're just gonna have to see how it looks going forward. As the clock will strike 0, and of course Louden will collect their lead. They do wait for the ball to drop to the ground, but then as soon as it does, they are crowned winners of this first game. They outshoot 15-2. They outscore 6-1. Yeah, I'd call that a pretty confident win. But of course, in a best of 5, they gotta get 2 more. So we'll see if they're able to do so. As they're all readied up, so I gotta get them changed and get us going as we look forward now towards game number 2. Louden 1 ahead in the series. But as we've reiterated several times, takes more than that. And it is quite common in these types of series for us to see a quick switch where one game's dominant, then the next one, the team kind of forces them back down towards more of a status quo. So we'll see. Again, as when you go down 2-3 goals, especially like 3 and beyond, it's hard to feel like you're still in that game. So it's entirely possible that those last few goals were really just the confidence difference, where for Louden, you're rolling, you know? For Louden, you got like 4 or 5 goals on the board. You're just kind of scoring. You're just kind of playing the game. Then, at the same time, if you're KC, like, the game doesn't feel winnable. How do you stay as locked in? So, well, I was going to say they can always pull it back now on a fresh slate. But it doesn't stay fresh for long because Craney just an absolute slam in the top left corner. And it's 1-0 Louden, 43 seconds in again. Wild Boy now trying to take control. First touch gets away from him. He will get a dunk. Vaughn trying to play it across. Bio now looking for the catch. Drop down off the back wall. Now Wild Boy trying to get into the corner. Down off the ceiling. Craney trying to play it forward. Louis will now play it out to the side again. Vaughn down off the ceiling, bouncing down. Wild Boy on it, but he's beat to it. Louis will get it downfield again. And then Craney adds on. So it is 2-0 for Louden. Just a shot forward. No one really there to block it. As I'm just going to time out that guy 10 minutes. Hey, up to you if you want to stick around. We don't really need that energy, so if you come back and do it again, you know, we might not be coming back a third time, but, you know, that's up to you. As this one sent it across again. Bio trying to get there, but Craney will get a dunk on it. Louis trying to stay with it again. Craney downfield. Bio still under it, going for the cut. Vaughn is on it. It's around off the corner. Craney now trying to get there out of boost, but he doesn't need much until Bio just barely does manage to dive into frame and keep that one away. I mean, it doesn't feel like a very different game. I gotta be honest. Like, it's probably lower scoring for Louden than it was last time, but it's once again just pretty controlled. We've seen a couple shots come through for KC, but pretty much all of them have been answered by a shot like that for Louden that's just keeping them back, keeping them forced to make saves. And it just feels like pretty soon here, one of those might just go in. Louis now trying to get under it, zoned off it. Craney's there. There's that inevitability. Craney, this hat trick's a little bit earlier, as it is 3-0 again in game number 2. Three minutes in. Again, I think it's lower scoring, but end of the day, it's just kind of a rout. I mean, KC, you got 2 minutes here to get something on the board. You got another game, you got another life, but it's not looking good. As Bio's trying to wait under it, but it's 50'd away by Pinky. Louis goes for the musty, he's dunked away. Craney puts it high. A bit of a miracle, or at least a bit of a lucky moment there for KC, as they will not go down 4-0, at least for the moment. But, I mean, the faintest glimmer of hope, all things considered, as with 85 seconds to go, that 4th goal will come anyway. Pinky just pops up, fakes out the reset, drops back down. Vaughn can't get the touch. And Louden are gonna add on another goal here. 4-0 now, is Pinky now trying to jump up into the air, going for the play, but he'll get dunked back down by Wild Boy. Craney catching up to this one. 50 to back out to the side. Wild Boy racing in, looking for the play. Louis will dunk it away. Now up in the air again. Pinky looking for a play, but Vaughn dunks it out to the side. Now another one sent far downfield by Louis, dropping down. 50 will stay pretty even back towards midfield, but Pinky's up first and will keep it in. Wild Boy now off the right wall. Vaughn will jump up, won't get a piece of it. Wild Boy waiting next, tries to pop it up in the air. Louis is there. Craney will pick it up next. The big threat, it goes high. The follow is in. Everyone involved in the scoring yet again, I do believe, as it is 5-0. Louden are just running away. It is currently 11-1 on shots on the series. And oh boy. It is just not looking very good. This one bounces away. Louis trying to get it out. It is dunked back in. 15 seconds left to go, but I mean, you know, the result's just going to be the result. That's all there is. We're not going to have a comeback because Louden just looked too good for one, and there's not nearly enough time. This one is off the backboard, almost a consolation goal, but not even going to get that. As Louden close out a second win in a row, as this time they outshoot 10-6. So much less dominant in terms of shooting, but just at best more of the same in terms of the scoring. As it was, I believe, 15-2 and 6-1. This game, it's 10-5 and 5-0. So the shots got better, but you still aren't scoring. That sounds right, Lynx. Because I believe he had a hat trick in both games. So that certainly sounds correct. And then his teammates have 5 goals split between them as well. So in terms of shooting, it's 22-7. In terms of goals, it's 11-1. And, I mean, hey, we're going to see, but it's looking rough. Like, Pixel hasn't seen a sweep this season. At this point, I'd be a little bit surprised. Like, if we're being honest. This is a bad game. Bad series for KC. I mean, we'll pull the overlay back up. We're going to need to see a big comeback here. We're going to need to see a strong mental for these three players on the orange side. Wild Boy, clean dribble, looks for the third fake, but Pinky's able to answer it. Craney now taking control, looking for the play downfield, but it's dunked out to the left wall. Pinky now another one onto the backboard. It'll bounce back away. I'm pretty confident that all three players on Louden individually have outscored KC in this series, by the way. KC have 1 goal. All three players on Louden have at least 2, and Craney has 6. As this one's played downfield, Wild Boy trying to pick it up, but he'll get turned around, and Louis will be able to get the touch. Doesn't have much boost to follow, but at least able to get a 50. That'll set up Pinky. Pinky now the clear downfield will beat one. Louis there, up off the back wall. Craney trying to get up. It'll be a bit of a tough play. He'll go to the backboard first, but he won't be able to follow it up. Louis now another 50 off the left wall. Pinky dropping it in. Sent long by Bio. Popped up by Vaughn. Maybe a little bit awkward. Craney now able to beat 2. Bio is back. Needs a play and has it. Pinky now will be forced to turn back. As hey, this is a good start. This is a very good start. Minute and a half in, no goals on the board. Haven't seen the most offense, but we've seen some. And given the fact they've had some offense and haven't conceded yet, this is a very good start. But we need KC to actually get something out of it. As Bio bangs this one forward. Could it be the chance? No, Louis is there. I still feel like I need to get used to the boost because the animation of it popping up is like just as much as the animation of it getting picked up. And so it, like I've said in the past few games, it just kind of feels like it's adding to the clutter. Because you're just looking at the screen and there's a big flash somewhere like in a corner or something. As Craney's trying to clear this one forward, it'll drop back down. I think the feature itself is cool. I just need to get used to it because it is quite noticeable. Around the corner, this one dropping down. Craney trying to go, gets a touch across. Pinky looking for a bump, won't find it, and Vaughn will get downfield. Feels like it's been quite a while since we've seen the Lynx really have possession downfield. And of course, that's great progress for KC. And we are going to see that streak end here. But that was a very good period of gameplay, and it might just pay off because this one is in. That will be their first lead of the series. 3 minutes into game 3. It is 1-0 for KC. Still a lot of time left to play in this game, but it has absolutely been better from the Foxtrotters. One down off the corner, bouncing away. Vaughn up towards the back wall, pinch across, but no one is there. Craney now trying to bring it down. Flick will beat one, but he's bumped off it, and Wild Boy can steal it away. But now it plays against him. Louis can't make contact. That'll be vital for KC as they will be able to keep it out in the end. Craney trying to get it forward. Pinky diving across will play the 50 even. Bio now off the right wall, up in the air. It's cleared away again. This one dropping down, but it'll bounce away harmlessly. Pinky now forward. Bio in his own net. It gets saved away, but Louis puts it right back in. The panic from Bio. Vaughn can only try to keep it away, but it's not nearly enough, and this game is tied. Up off the back wall now. Wild Boy gonna get bumped off it. Vaughn trying to pop it up, and now it could get awkward for KC. Both players converge on it. It looked like good patience, but then they both try to take it from each other. Final minute to play here. Still tied up at 1. KC need this game, but can they get it? They need at least one more goal, and now they only have one member on the field, but it's a good 50 by Bio. And that'll buy them at least a little bit of time. Craney now trying to get it away. One touchdown field caught by Bio. He'll try to turn on it. Flicked up in the air. Pinky off the sidewall. Wild Boy will leave it. Louis will get bumped forward, and now Vaughn keeping it in. Centered out by Craney, sent along by Wild Boy. Out to the corner again, it's Bio up in the air. Bio jumping in again towards the net, but a little wide and very slow. So it's saved out easy enough by Louden. Final 10 seconds now, a little bit awkward here. It's cleared away for the moment, but there's a big bump. The shot is wide, and Bio gets it away. I think a shot on target might just be the game, but it does not come. Clock is at 0, and we have overtime in game number 3. KC need it. Can they find it? Vaughn 50 up off the back wall. Wild Boy gonna wait on it. Goes for the high shot. Almost works it. It forces all 3 to jump. Bio now going straight up, but Craney is there to take it away. Vaughn dunked as well. Pinky will look for a back pass, and he'll beat Wild Boy, but it's only Bio there. Strong touch is wide of net, as Louis will flick over one. Wild Boy loses out on that one. Now Bio up off the right wall. Craney trying to get it across. Vaughn waiting on it. Pinky has to let that one go. Push back out. Pinky's there. And it will end here. Louden let the last game get close, but they do not let it slip away. They close it out in a 3-0 sweep over Kansas City. 2-1 in the final game, by far the closest it gets. But again, that close just will not cut it for Kansas City, who will fall as the first sweep of the week in the Pixel League. Now, we will ask about an interview with our winners, but I mean, that was dominant. I think that last game felt like a little bit more of like, you know, what you could expect coming in. As did I save that replay? I did. W. I may not have. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that would not be good. It's not showing in my match history. I'll refresh and hope it's there. We'll see. But, yeah, as we are going to have an interview, and so we will be back in just one moment. And we are back with Louden. Obviously, last week not quite going your way, but much better game here. How does it feel to be back to 500?
Great. It feels awesome. And to get the first sweep.
Absolutely. So, first I'll just ask, Craney, what was this series, man?
I mean, I just got 2 hat tricks and I just showed up.
Pretty much, yeah. And then, just for the team, why were those first 2 games so dominant?
Well, we talked a lot more, and we, compared to last week's game, we slowed things down so much. We're playing at a pace that we couldn't keep up with, and slowed things down, able to make a lot of passing plays, demo a lot. We didn't get caught off guard nearly as much. Only got caught off twice.
So then, going off that for game 3, do you feel like you maybe got a little bit too into it and fell back into those issues, or what do you think changed there?
I missed a lot of balls, in all honesty.
Fair.
So, and I would say that one's more on me. And I think we dialed it back a little bit, but we were confident that we're going to win it, so no issues.
Fair enough. Now, looking forward, you guys are slated to play Madison next week. How do you feel about that matchup?
I'm excited. That's Panda, Honda, Dan, and Shade, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm starting to learn these finally. I think
in.
it'll be a good matchup. I think it'll be fun. I want to beat them because they beat Boomer's team. So they looked really good facing Boomer's team.
Absolutely. Well, I think obviously pretty dominant series, so I think that's about all I have for you guys. So congratulations on the win and good luck next week.
Thank you. Love you, doggo.
Thank you, Doggo.
All right, and that will do it for our triple header here tonight, as we had 2 game 4s and a sweep. So far from the minimum, but can't all be bangers, as we do have 2 games slated for tomorrow, I believe at 8 and 9:30. Make sure you watch the Discord to see those exact times, or we'll see you back then on the stream, as your final score here is Louden 3, KC 0. We'll see you back tomorrow night for more Pixel League action.